pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we're going to start the meeting off with a happy birthday.
Oh, no.
I think we should, don't you?
Yes,
All right.
I second that.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jim. Happy birthday to you.
Wow. All right, thank you all very much. No, I'm not gonna tell you how old. All right, thank you, everyone. As the minutes can reflect the roll call of the various trustees, departments, and officials, let's move on to item 3, entertain a motion for the approval of the 2:15 village board meeting and to file the 10/21 Park and Rec Board, 11/24 Plan Commission, and the 1/25 Joint Library Board meeting minutes as presented.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion and second, as always, comments, questions, clarifications on the minutes. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Anybody in the audience or on the Zoom call that wishes to be heard on a non-agenda item? Move forward. The items have been distributed in the normal fashion. Let's move on to item 6, resolutions, ordinance, action items. Item A is report of the Park and Rec. And that is a motion to approve the reallocation of the Shady Hollow Picnic Shelter funds toward the purchase of a play structure for Shady Hollow Park, not to exceed $33,000. Be approved.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a good discussion in the minutes, but Megan's here, so you want to give us a 30-second overview?
Yeah, the main thing that I wanted to address is that the neighbors have been asking for a playground for a significant amount of time, and I just feel that the playground should come before a picnic shelter. And at this point, I don't feel that it's appropriate for us to move that old Centennial park equipment over to Shady Hollow for various reasons. So I think it would be more appropriate to buy a new playground with that and push that up to 2022.
Okay, and it's the same budgeted amount.
Correct.
Comments, questions for Megan?
Yeah, I just have one. Megan, do you know how much is in the picnic shelter fund account total? Or Jesse? Is that-
It is the park
Park and open fund.
facilities fund. It's the special revenue fund. And I'm sorry, I did not bring my budget book with me. This is the same amount that was budgeted, so it does not negatively impact that particular fund. Because we are not looking to exceed what has already been budgeted. We're simply looking to change the scope of the project. But I'm sorry, I don't have my budget book with me.
So then next year, if we're gonna revisit the picnic shelter, is that 33,000 from there? Is that gonna come from somewhere else?
That can be made available either through the balance within that fund, or it can be budgeted for with an allocation of tax levy with the creation of next year's budget.
Okay.
So there's a couple of ways we'd be able to accomplish that
Okay,
project, the
'cause I
picnic
don't
shelter
want
project.
that fund to be shorted.
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Other questions? Motion and second, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Let's move on to item B, report of the Plan Commission. Item 1 is an ordinance recommending amendments to the Village Municipal Code, Chapter 20 signs. Be approved.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Jessica?
So the purpose of the update was just so the sign ordinance can follow the new zoning ordinance, because the sign code does include references to zoning districts. And now that all of our zoning district names, or most of them, have changed, we need to update that. This was also a good opportunity for me to update the organization and flow of the ordinance and make it more user-friendly.
Questions for Jessica? Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Items 2, 3, and 4 are all related to the same topic. Katie, because we don't have final approvals, or we don't have any stated objections from the state, please include in all the motions and resolutions pending no state objection for
Mr.
items 2
President?
through 4.
Mr. President, Could we confirm with Mr. Fox that that is indeed the case?
Okay, that was the news as of before the meeting, is
Yes.
we can ask him if he's had that.
John?
Good evening. I have not, at this point, I have not received any additional information from the state, so we are also still waiting on that document.
So we take items 2 and 3 together. Items 4 is a resolution. Item 2 is a motion to approve recommendation of the annexation of 1.64 acres at 2030 Wisconsin Avenue be approved. And item 3 is ordinance recommending approval of a petition to rezone 1.6, the same 1.64 acres located at 2030 Wisconsin Avenue to SMU South Commercial Mixed Use be approved. So I can entertain a motion for either or both together.
I'll make a motion for both.
I'll second.
Motion is second for both. Jessica, just a high level on this project.
The Associated Bank on Wisconsin Avenue needs to, their septic system is failing. And they need to, or have requested to connect to the village's municipal water and sewer system. So they are annexing at this time. It is the only remnant town island left on Wisconsin Avenue, north of Chateau. So this will clean up some of that area.
Questions on this project? Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes for items 2 and 3. Item 4 is a resolution, and that's recommending a certified survey map with the right-of-way dedication requested by Associated Bank for the land located at 2030 Wisconsin Avenue. That is the resolution. Takes an offer, motion, and a second.
I'll offer.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Offer, motion, and second. Final questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That resolution passes. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Move on to item 5. Item 5 is an ordinance recommending the rezoning of the Aurora Medical Center PUD Plan Unit Development at 975 Fort Washington Road be approved.
I make the motion.
Second.
This is in regards to an addition, observation area. Jessica, 3 seconds.
Yeah, so this is for an approximately 8,016 bed observation wing at the hospital that is going to be added on. It's a modular building that they will be proposing to construct this spring and early summer.
Questions? Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 6 of resolution recommending the final plat for Phase 2 Riverbend Meadows subdivision west of Fort Washington Road and south of Falls Road be adopted.
I'll offer.
Motion. Second.
Offer, motion is second. Again, this is good news. Shows again, pretty strong demand for housing in the village. Questions for this?
I have a comment, Jim. Tom Krieger. So we're approving final plats before any completion of improvements nowadays. Can we ask for like a final report or update in the future once all of the improvements have been completed in an already approved final plat?
Sure.
Yes, I mean, that is essentially done when the village accepts the public improvements. Is that, I'm sorry, Tom, is that what you mean, or you'd like something different than that?
Well, that's all part of it, of course, but we certainly want to know if there were any wrinkles along the way during the construction that may have changed things in terms of our original thinking of how the plan was supposed to be constructed, that sort of thing. And whether or not, yeah.
Was there any significant change from preliminary?
No.
So typically, the only time you'd see a change in the final plat would be if there was a significant change in any of the, like the constructions from the preliminary plat, so where all that stuff is identified. So, but I get it. You have a comment?
Well, only that I believe the comments are accurate, that you approve the final plat as long as it's substantially in conformance with the preliminary plat.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're accepting all the public infrastructure that would go through the inspection process.
Okay.
And would come back to you at a later date.
But, and there will be time for, sorry, go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say that's reasonable. Basically, I guess I am most interested in terms of the infrastructure and that it is completely acceptable, even though we've already approved the final plat. So should work for me.
I think too, just so that the village board is aware, Director Thomas and I are in the process of updating and modernizing our subdivision ordinance. And I think one of the discussions that the plan commission will need to have and the village board is about when they want to see these final plats. Prior to start of construction or prior to acceptance of the in public improvement. So we've been doing it both ways, and I think we need to come up with one approach.
All right, so discussion for our future meeting. For this particular item, we have an offer, motion, and a second. Final comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Let's move on to item 7, Department and Officers Reports. Jesse, you want to get us started?
Certainly, just a few things here for the board's information. Happy to report, speaking with our finance director, our audit for last year's records is complete. It was kind of unique this year in that it was all virtual. Normally, we have a crew of auditing accountants here in-house for the better part of a week. This was done completely virtually, and our initial reports are very favorable. Most importantly, similar to last year, no journal entries from the auditing firm. What that means is, in essence, there were no corrections to our books. Our staff was 100% spot on with the way things were booked, in accord with accounting rules and regulations. And for a municipality our size, with the number of transactions we do in a year, that's pretty special. So I'm very happy to report that, being a second year in a row that we've had no journal entries as part of our audit process. Final report would be forthcoming. This just is the preliminary report on the audit. Director Thomas did visit on site with Waste Management Manager following a report regarding more findings of oil spills and puddles from garbage trucks throughout neighborhood. Did a walk through the neighborhood, and quite frankly, the Waste Management Manager said, yes, we believe that is coming from our trucks, as it is at the end of individual driveways. But that's where the manager stopped, did not offer a solution. So that said, Amber and I started talking this afternoon, what can we do to take further action to get some remedy to this? Because clearly Waste Management it appears as though they have stopped, other than offering the solution of, we are going to get a new truck someday and that will help the problem. Well, we need something done now. So Director Thomas and I are going to explore avenues of what we can do in the near term to A, stop the problem, and B, get it cleaned up. So that was a interesting Monday exercise on behalf of Director Thomas this morning. So last thing I wanted to report on, with the spring weather slowly creeping in and the thaw starting, both Public Works and Utility are starting to see the normal springtime problems, such as pavement heave or pipes breaking as the frost is coming out of the ground. Please know they will be repaired to the extent we can, but they are gravel patches until such time the asphalt plants open up with the warmer weather. So if you see gravel patches in the area of whether it be a main break or an asphalt patch, quick example would be right outside the library. We have a small graveled area where the asphalt just buckled with the frost coming out of the ground. So just wanted to make the board aware of our efforts in that area, just trying to do some patchwork repair right now with an actual asphalt to be replaced as weather permits. So those are the items I have this evening for the board.
Jessica, Megan, anything you wish to add?
Not at this time.
Anybody have any questions for Jessica or Jesse or Amber? Go ahead.
Jesse, did we find out who drilled the holes in the ice skating rink at Lions?
No, we did not.
Lisa.
Oh, okay. Megan, I noticed in the minutes from Park and Rec that you were talking about the parts that had been ordered to fix the playground equipment,
Yes,
and that was from the commercial recreation specialist.
yes.
Any update on if there's gonna be if that restocking fee was gonna happen, or?
No, and I sent another follow-up email to the representative there after it was brought up again at the Park and Rec board meeting, and they still said that they're working on it. So they did say that I would hear an update this week. So I am hoping to hear that update, but it just seems to be getting pushed back.
And then my other question for you was, and I also noted that there's still no possible opening date for the senior center. Is that something are we working with like Ozaukee County on that, or?
Jesse and I have been working through that, and Jesse, I don't know if you want to speak on this too, just being consistent throughout the other departments, and developing a plan on how we want to reopen.
Yes, we want to get a little bit better handle on the vaccination rate. Obviously, this customer base was one of the first eligible groups to be able to get the vaccine. We want to make sure we have a good level of comfort with folks being able to get that before we reopen, because really the interest we're seeing in reopening the senior center right now is for the large group gatherings, the card playing, the game playing, which is great, and we understand that, but that is the exact situation we're actually trying to avoid right now until we understand and believe from the health department that more and more folks are properly vaccinated. So we are working closely with the health department, watching CDC guidelines as well as they change. And we are ramping up and looking to plan accordingly to open it up when it's safe. Yeah.
And we are open for certain programs. We do have, if you register ahead of time for like our exercise courses and some other programs, we're not completely closed.
Correct.
We're just not open in the sense that we would, you can't just come in and hang out there or use our workout facilities, those types of things. But you can sign up for pre-scheduled classes as long as we know that we're meeting our, or we're not going over our maximum number of people that we would allow in that room. So, and I did reach out to our senior center coordinator, Karen, to see what other senior centers are doing in the area. So she's working on getting information from Cedarburg and Port Washington, so that we can reevaluate that and see where we're at.
Okay. And then my last question, I'm sorry,
No, please.
is I noticed also in the minutes that there was still a little bit of issue over at the library with some members maybe not wearing masks. I don't know if people on the library board know anything about that.
There was a gentleman that unfortunately has caused problems in several area libraries that refused to wear a mask. To Director Hansen's credit, he handled it very, very well and actually had the gentleman put on a mask for the remainder of his visit. Then there were some words exchanged as he left. However, this gentleman has been identified as I guess a menace, if you will, to several local libraries to the extent he's been escorted by police out of, I believe, the Cedarburg Library. He's been kicked out of the Mequon Library for 30 days, and our staff has done a great job to date. So, so far that is the big problem. There was a family that did have concerns about the mask update, and John worked with them to provide accommodations as well. Other than that, thankfully, things have gone quite smoothly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so
Sure,
that
please.
gentleman was actually the one that was here that night for a board meeting where you asked him to put a mask on. That was him.
He was here twice.
Oh, I only seen him once,
Okay.
but so that was him. And we are offering like curbside pickup and other options for these families that don't want to wear the mask. So we are giving them other options. It's not that we're not allowing them to come into the library. They can come in if they wear the mask. If they can't wear the mask, they have to utilize the other options.
Yeah, a couple of questions here, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Number one, I just saw on Facebook that winter parking restrictions have been lifted through April 1st.
Yep.
Did that go out on a general publication or from the police department or from the village or just?
Right now, it hits social media. We do have to get caught up and get it on our website as well. But really, that was based upon taking a look at the long-range forecast. But right now, it's a social media post. We do have to get it out on our website as well.
Okay. Second issue is any update on how we're going to handle the pool this summer? Are you still going to be the person who's going to be kind of overseeing all that in your current role?
Yes, as of right now, yes, that is the plan. I will know more and have a better feeling for that as I believe it is next week. Megan and I have a walkthrough with the chemical supplier and talking through the operations and whatnot. So that is really going to help me gauge a level of comfort as to, okay, can I work with staff and comfortably assume that role, or are we going to have to explore other options? That's really going to be the big litmus test coming up here. But so far, discussions have gone really well. Megan has been fantastic with getting me up to speed on things and also she is really the point person right now, working with the other communities for that consistent approach I mentioned before. So that will go a long way as well, being consistent with other nearby pools. I would not have to worry about as kind of the stand-in with regards to any unique nuances per se. So,
Just one final follow-up on that. So we still are going to have an aquatic director as well this summer. So
Yep.
that person will be really responsible for.
Yep.
running the pool.
yep, all other staff would look to be in place. I would basically be the quasi department head, which would help with the policy, the budgeting, the purchasing, and really kind of the heavy lifting from that side of things. Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, yes, sir.
Mine's more just a comment piggybacking on trustee Harvick's hydraulic oil issue. I've noticed the same thing in front of my house this morning.
Mhm.
So, and you said you're on top of it, but it's out there, 17th Avenue, I'm on 9th, so it's all over.
Mhm.
So thank you
Yes.
for following through. We hopefully will get a resolution on that.
Yes, it's gotten to the point now where clearly staff needs to start leaning into this a bit. We've tried the ongoing communications. We've gotten some commitment from the contractor, but they are not moving to the extent we would like. So we're going to look to find a resolution of this sooner rather than later.
All right, and if you can just have the minutes reflect thanks to Paul and Monica for the audit results. Appreciate it. All right, let's move on to item 8, licenses. Entertain a motion for approval of the 4 individuals and their places of employment.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item 9, entertain a motion for the approval of village expenditures, $135,628.91.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Motion is second, some back and forth in emails. Final questions on the budgets, payments?
I just have one, I'm sorry, I didn't get it in, Justin.
No, it's okay.
It's batch number 2, page 2, and it's the charge for the below better for the police department contract negotiation revisions. And I'm just curious, were those revisions done after the contract was accepted by the board, or is that just a late bill coming in?
That is actually a revision following everybody's sign off. What was caught was the fact that the sick leave paragraph still said 8 hours per day, not 12 hours per day. So that was a revision that needed to be rewritten in the form of a side letter. So some more information will be forthcoming on that. So
Okay,
that's
you'll
what
have
that
to-
charge is for. There's no economic impact associated with that. It is simply a side letter to show that sick leave matches the workday. Because the old workday was the 8.22,
Right,
the new workday is 12. In that push at the year end to get that contract done, that one figure was missed.
okay, so when that's rewritten, will that be included in our?
Yes, it will. Yep,
Okay.
yes, it will.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions on the bills? Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item 10, motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Mr. President?
yeah,
Is there a
I'm
question?
sorry, I can maybe make a motion to adjourn. At some point, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I sense some stalling.
Want to make a motion to adjourn, but
I know that we already, I know we already sang, which I'm glad, because I was told I was gonna have to sing Happy Birthday, Mr. President, like Marilyn Monroe.
I love for that.
We just wanted to say happy birthday, Jim.
Well, thank you all very much.
And I will make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion. And a second, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, everybody.
So you guys are gonna help?
Yes, we are.